Someone had to do it. I will be rating 100 of the animatronics from Five Nights at Freddy's on a rating scale of 1 to 10. They will not be ranked best to worst, simply in a vague sense of appearance. I'll be considering the tactics, size, strength, and controversy of all the animatronics. Also, all the footage is coming from UCN because that's the only game I currently have other than Security Breach. Let's get straight into it. Freddy Fazbear. He's certainly very large and strong, and the way he can be hidden up until the very end makes him quite good. However, every other animatronic will want to say they got Freddy Fazbear, so 6. Bunny. Bunny is also a 6. Bunny is slightly less strong than Freddy, but less people want to get Bunny out. The same goes with Chica, however she is a 5 due to a crippling fast food addiction making her less strong. Foxy. Now, Foxy is very good. He's a pirate. Pirates are tough. He's seen some stuff. Also, his insane speed and skinniness makes him incredibly difficult to catch. He's definitely getting in and out in the thick of the battle. 8. Golden Freddy. If we're assuming it's real, it's incredibly old and dilapidated, but it's a distraction, so 2. Withered Freddy is certainly strong, but he's very broken, meaning he's not going to be very good at dodging. He's getting a 5. Can Withered Bunny even see? I know he has those lights in his head, but I'm not sure if those are eyes. Even if we're assuming he can see, he's missing an arm. You need those to play Dodgeball, I'm pretty sure. 3. Get out of my sight. Withered Chica. Why would you even play Dodgeball when you have no hands? And why would you play Dodgeball if you are constantly standing in a T-pose, making as much space as possible? And why would you even bother trying out for Dodgeball when you're already the second most broken animatronic in your game? 1 out of 10. You have 5 seconds to leave the country. Withered Foxy. He's pretty agile, but leaping isn't very helpful in Dodgeball. However, he's a pretty small target. 6 out of 10. Toy Freddy. He's so fat! All he does is play video games, and he does it terribly. You need to play for him, or he rages so hard he literally commits homicide. He couldn't deal with the stress of Dodgeball. 3. Toy Bunny. Small target, can sneak up on people, though not particularly agile. 6 out of 10. Toy Chica. Smash. Mangle. Okay, good one here. The many eyes, arms, and legs make it so Mangle can take on many enemies at once, and despite their large body, they can contort themselves into being any shape, making them a fantastic dodger. However, they are quite broken, so only a 9. The Puppet. The Puppet is skinny, can fly, and is built to scan for enemies. 9 out of 10. Balloon Boy. He's small, but he's also not known for his capability in movement. He'd be too busy climbing the wall to get the batteries from the lights. 4. JJ is a very solid 7. She's small, but not so arrogant to show up in people's faces. She's also commonly forgotten about, so not a big target at all. She has very little mobility, but that's not a huge detriment. Shadow Freddy. He's a hallucination, but does nothing to distract the player. Since no one cares about him, he's getting a 2. Congrats! Shadow Bunny. Okay, Shadow Bunny is better. It actually makes it much harder for the other team to see, and while she literally can't move, it would definitely buy her team some time to get kills. 4 out of 10. Springtrap. He's a half-rotting corpse who everyone hates. His own team would get him out. 1 out of 10. Phantom Freddy. If he did exist, he'd be alright. He knows that it's best to hide behind surfaces, so even though he's not great physically, he's smart enough to protect himself for a while. 4 out of 10. Phantom Chica. She is not smart, though she's very sneaky. Standing right next to someone without them noticing is a talent that could be used, but she refuses to get them out until they look. This is also bad because if she goes across the line in the middle, she'll get out. I worry about her. She has so much talent and she wastes it. 2. This is the same with Phantom Foxy, although he can get much farther much quicker, so I'll be generous. 3. Phantom Mangle is getting 2, because there's potential even though they waste it. The main problem is that A, they never jump scaring, just kind of pop up in the corner, and B, this is a problem with Phantom Balloon Boy as well, but they come into the world through computers. Who's using a computer at a Dodgeball game? Phantom Balloon Boy is getting a 1, by the way. And another 1 out of 10 for the Phantom Puppet. I don't think I need to explain myself here. Nightmare Freddy. He needs his little Freddles to get around, and a Dodgeball arena needs somewhat good lighting. I'm giving him a 4 though, because I could feasibly believe the Freddles could make it through, even without the setback. Nightmare Freddy is the GOAT. Nightmare Bunny. Nightmare Bunny is getting a 9. Fantastic strength, and scares off some of the little animatronics. Nothing much wrong with him. But Nightmare Chica, on the other hand, she's getting a 10. She has the same strength as Nightmare Bunny, but she has the Cupcake, which has a proven kill count. This is invaluable in Dodgeball, because she has ammo loyal only to her. Nightmare Foxy is also great, but due to his giant snout, he takes up more space, so another 9. Nightmare Fredbear. He's a goddamn tank, taking up multiple animatronics at once with his throws. However, due to his large size and his meme ability,
Was that the...
He's only getting a 9. Nightmare, 9, simply less real than the already not real animatronics. He'd be a 10, but since he's literally kind of just death, it's hard for him not to kill other players, which would get him eliminated. Plush Trap, small but fast. He could probably pick up a dodgeball too, and throw it somewhat far. 8 out of 10, just because of the strength problems. However, Nightmare Balloon Boy is getting a 6 out of 10. He's more plump, so I don't think he could throw it as far or run as fast. Jacko Bonnie gets a 9 out of 10 for the same reasons as Nightmare Bonnie, and Jacko Chica gets a 10 out of 10 for the same reasons as Nightmare Chica. Nightmare Mangle gets a 9 for the same reasons as Mangle, though it's a very high 9. Nightmarian is an easy 10. Can float, long arms, skinny, has tentacles that can sneak anywhere. Easy 10. Circus Baby. She's a master manipulator, so could probably hit the dumb ones into getting hit. However, as we saw in Help Wanted, she literally moves like a baby does. Look at this baby, it's dumb, I can't move right. 4 out of 10. Biddy Bab is a circus baby, but smaller and less good at manipulation, 3 out of 10. Electro Bab has electric powers, which is great for animatronics, but I'm sure that he'd be banned by the ref. Another 3. Funtime Freddy, which we are going to be considering apart from Bon Bon. He's definitely agile and he can move his faceplates, which won't help, but might startle the older animatronics. Reckon he has a good shot, 7. Bon Bon. Small but can literally fly around rooms, another detachable ball, 8 out of 10. Bonnet. Bon Bon's underappreciated half-cousin, who no one's going to throw. 5 out of 10. Ballora, 9 out of 10, incredibly agile as a ballerina and probably more experienced if she is possessed by Mrs. Afton. Mini Arenas are getting a 7, a small target, insanely agile, but they have a better chance of being someone's favourite sister location animatronic than picking up a dodgeball. Funtime Foxy, and I don't entirely know why, but I think he'd get a 10. He's very confident and he's very sneaky, and you can't look at him and tell me he's not one of the strongest characters. Yendo is just... I'll give him an 8 out of 10, but there's not much to say with him. Ennard, 9. He has the strength of all the major sister location animatronics averaged out, and his structure makes it so he'd be pretty good at dodging. Lolbit gets a 10 out of 10 for the same reasons as Funtime Foxy. Scrap Trap, 1 out of 10. Everyone hates William Afton. He's getting out immediately. Plus, the gravity coming from his forehead is going to draw all the nearby balls towards him. Scrap Babe, a solid 8. She's very broken and dilapidated, but the claw gives her great grip, and the skates are great uses of mobility. Molten Freddy is just the Bennett edit, at Dodgeball that is. Since Freddy is in control and we know that he can move insanely fast, we know that's not a problem, and the wires and movement makes it so he can have dodgeballs literally pass through him, 10 out of 10. Lefty. Lefty is just no fun. He'd be the one sitting in the corner reading the end of the Twisted Ones for the 70th time while Charlotte cries about it. He's the quiet kid, 3 out of 10. Rockstar Freddy is an 8. I think he'd do well, but he certainly wouldn't win. Rockstar Bunny and Rockstar Chica are both getting 7. They seem strong, but nothing special. Rockstar Foxy is getting 6. He seems distinctly weaker than the other animatronics. Look at this guy, honestly. Happy Frog. Great. The mediocre melodies. She gets a 6 for her sneakiness and the fact that she's a small target. People will aim for her because of how annoying she is. Mr. Hippo. Now, Mr. Hippo is an interesting one. See, you would think that with his long, droning stories and his susceptibility to audio laws, he would get a very low score. Now, I don't disagree. Those are some very good points, but I believe there's more than meets the eye. He has many life lessons and lots of wisdom which could somehow be passed on to opposing animatronics. I suppose, maybe. Can you really pass on wisdom with anything other than experience? How would that be done? Maybe the story is the experience. Maybe it depends on the Ned Bear, 2 out of 10. He's wearing an office tie, is beige, and is controlled by visible springs. How much more boring can you get? He would absolutely suck at something as exciting as Dodgeball. Pigpatch. Pigpatch could be alright, but I doubt it. He's on the clumsy side, and he doesn't strike me as an agile person. Though he could probably hold his own for a bit. 5 out of 10. Orville's getting a 5 because he is truly the most mediocre of all the animatronics on this list. He's orange. Who's orange? Nobody's orange. Trash and the gang are all getting 2 out of 10 because they're literally trash, but that bass booster sound effect is very distracting. El Chip. He's very insistent with his advertisements, and that could translate to being insistent with the throws in the gym court. I think he could do pretty well. 8 out of 10. Funtime Chica. 7? I think she'd be good. She looks like she'd be good at dodging, but I don't think she'd have her head in the game. Music Man is nightmare fuel, more so than the Nightmare animatronics. He would scar everybody in the room. He also goes insane whenever there is too much noise, and that'd be going wild in a dodgeball game. Once you add on his extra arms, that's a 10 out of 10. Security Puppet, 8 out of 10, because it's a slightly worse puppet. Helpy pops up everywhere, in your diner, next to your computer, in surgery, at the foot of my bed, late at night. I think he could pick up a dodgeball, despite how small he is. I think he could absolutely decimate animatronics with how much he pops up. 9 out of 10. Dee Dee. Everyone hates Dee Dee. They'll go for her immediately and she has no defense. 1 out of 10. Zor is an interesting case. It does that all the time, don't worry about it. I'll go with a 4 because it's less hated. Glitch Trap can only be accessed through digital screens, and I hope no one is using phones at this event. We'll go with a 1, but if he were physical, we'd go with an 8. Dreadbear, 10. God, he's strong. He could absolutely clobber me to the ground. He has no mercy. He scares me down to the core. Did I say 10? He's a 10 out of 10. Grim Foxy. He's cool as hell. He's super fast and he never stops. I think his stamina and fast movement makes a prime example of how to play Dodgeball. We'll go with a 10. Vanny. We're assuming the Vanny persona and not necessarily Vanessa. I think that she's pretty creepy and relentless, so I'd say a solid 8. It's hard to tell for sure, but I think she'd be in for a while. Glamrock Freddy. He seems insanely strong and confident. However, he's not too confident and he's got some good sportsmanship in him. A solid 10. Glamrock Chica. Just throw a garbage bag across the room and she's immediately immobilized. I don't know why you'd have a garbage bag lying around, so 5, but that's still a massive flaw. That's kind of fixed in Shattered Glamrock Chica because she has no beak to eat garbage, but I think that she's more vicious in this version and her brokenness doesn't affect her mobility too much, so I'd give that a solid 7. Roxanne Wolf, 9 out of 10. I reckon she's pretty mobile, strong, and pretty aggressive on the field. She could take out the smaller animatronics, and she would. Chad Roxanne Wolf has no eyes, and so probably isn't the best at aiming or grabbing dodgeballs. 2 out of 10. Montgomery Gator, easy 10 out of 10. He's super strong and super confident. He's like that sporty kid in your year 4 and 5 class. He's insane. Shattered Montgomery Gator. Get rid of his legs and there's not much you can do. 3 out of 10. Sunshine would be too busy being the weird uncle at family gatherings and trying to make a balloon penguin to play dodgeball. Even if he were playing it, he'd lose to make the kids feel good. 4 out of 10. Moondrop. He's merciless, scares everyone and is used to sneaking around. He's also slow, always talks, and only comes out when the lights are off. 5 out of 10. Staffbot. Boring! 4 out of 10. Mapbot. He knows the entire blueprint of the building he's in, so we can plan out the course of action. So first, we'll go through this door, sneaking behind enemy lines, then we jump through this vent, take a left, 2 rights, another... DJ Music Man. Here's a comparison between the size of every other security breach animatronic and the DJ Music Man. He's getting a 3 because he gets some people out, but he's such a giant target that he's going out pretty much immediately. It's very fast, it's very small, and it can climb walls. It's near impossible to hit, but it's also never going to throw a ball farther than 3 meters. 7 out of 10. Glamrock Endos are getting a 5, because if you look at them, they don't move. Massive design flaw. The Blob gets a 4 for the same reasons as DJ Music Man, but it has wires to grab balls. Don't take that out of context. Everyone hates Burn Trap. He's been in one fight which he survived, another where he lost most of his skin, and so all he does is walk slowly. It's also about like 95 at this point. 0 out of 10. Prototype Freddy can't see, so probably a 1. Ruined Glamrock Shrieker is very similar to Shattered Glamrock Shrieker and is getting a 7. Let's give this treatment to Ruined Roxanne Wolf, who's getting a 2, and Ruined Montgomery Gator, who's getting a 3. Eclipse has their own demons, so I think both would be up for a game of Dodgeball. I give them a solid 6. The Entity, or whatever you want to call it, is purely digital, and so is getting a 1 out of 10. The Mimic is very thin, so not great for throwing, and I don't think the mimicking ability is going to be much help in a game like this. 5 out of 10. Mystic Hippo sits in a box all day, so I think she would not be good at moving around at all. She also focuses on magic, which is so far from Dodgeball that she'd have no idea what to do. 4 out of 10. Carney sounds exactly like a more strict PE teacher. He also guides her through these games, so he's pretty focused. I think he's got what it takes. 8 out of 10. Finally, our last animatronic. I'm going to give Jacko Moon a 7 out of 10, just because I reckon it'd be that. No other reason. Well, that's it. 100 FNAF animatronics rated on how well they would do in a game of Dodgeball. This is 100% canon and cannot be debunked by anyone because I said so. Now, I know you have one more question. Who would win in this giant game of Dodgeball? First off, I got together all the ones I gave a 10 out of 10, which are on the screen now, and I analysed them deeply, thought of every single criteria and possibility, and decided on this. The bronze medal goes to Dreadbear. I've got to say that he's the strongest animatronic, and one throw could take out about 5 others. He also just seems to fit in general, despite being kind of a zombie. He's certainly getting right up to the end, but I still think that Molten Freddy, who's getting the silver, would be higher. He's just too good at dodging. Not only can he presumably move his wires individually, meaning he can change his shape, but Ballora is also in Enid somewhere. You know that she's also great at dodging. I reckon he survived for long, but not long enough to beat Nightmarion. He wins this game by a mile. A lot of it goes to the fact that he can levitate and presumably just fly. That on its own would make him one of the best, but it just keeps on getting better. These long bendable arms make for the perfect dodgeball throwers. And all of that is done whilst taking up the most minimal amount of space possible and being very flexible. The perfect dodger, aimer, and thrower. Night Marion, you have done it. You've earned the role of the best dodgeball player in all of FNAF. Anyways, there you have it. This may be my most innovative and important video, so feel free to like and comment how you would argue differently. Thank you for watching, stop chewing so loudly, cue the outro music.